So, good morning, folks. We'll give you a brief update on our Hawthorne fire here in Berlin, Connecticut. Our crews have worked throughout the evening. They've been mostly watching fire lines and ensuring that that line doesn't jump and run any further. Our operations today are going to be consistent with that. It's going to be footwork and more work further up into the mountain. As the winds change, we expect that operations may shift and move further to the south. Throughout the day, we're going to have more resources coming in from area departments and from out of state. We have reported that the air operations, the support for that will be coming in. They were delayed this morning due to cloud cover and fog. We expect them to be coming in sometime early this afternoon. As far as fire conditions and spread, I'm going to turn it over to Mike from DEP Wildfire Division. He'll give you a few updates on the technicals.
I'm Michael Cronick. I am the Fire Control Officer, Western District for DEP. I am the Deputy Incident Commander along with Berlin. We have a unified command and we are working together. The wildland firefighters from the state of Connecticut have been working the fire all night. We have it contained within a box at this time, and we are working to secure all the edges. With today's weather forecast, we will be tested on those lines, and if the lines hold, we will be able to make great progress on this. The operation has been done mostly by hand, digging hand line around this fire, and we are confident. We have a box around the fire. The weather today will test that.
Good morning. My name is Bill Turner. I'm the State Emergency Management Director here in Connecticut. I think it was summarized pretty well, the current situation. From the State Emergency Management perspective, our number one role here is to support the incident commanders behind me with any resource needs, planning, and logistics. With that said, as mentioned, we have Maine deploying a forestry helicopter that should be here early this afternoon. Was a little delayed due to weather this morning, and the Connecticut National Guard will deploy a Chinook and Black Hawk helicopter no later than tomorrow morning. Given the terrain and accessibility issues, those aerial assets are going to be pivotal in helping us get this fire under control. But nonetheless, the brave firefighters and first responders continue to go up on the hill and try to contain this fire. And that's really our number one priority right now, is life safety, not only for those in the community, but also our first responders. At this time, no evacuation or shelter in place orders have been issued. However, we're continuing to closely monitor any impacts if this fire were to grow. We have teams in place that are around the community in neighborhoods in position to protect any impacted structures. But right now, our main focus is getting those aerial assets in, getting additional manpower up onto the hill, and continuing to contain this fire and get it under control. With that said, I'd be glad to entertain any questions that you might have. So.
Question for you. Can you give an update on a lot of acreage right now you think may be affected?
We are currently mapping the fire now, but we're estimating it about 125 acres.
I have a two-pointer. Would you say approximately are involved in this?
From the wildland perspective, I have about 30 firefighters working the fire at this time, and I believe there's about 40 municipal firefighters supporting the operation.
And what do you think was crucial when it came to containing this fire? How was it able to do that?
That's the wildland world is a lot different than the municipal fire world. That's what we train for, and this is our wheelhouse, and this is what we trained for, and they got after it and were able to do it. The weather yesterday was in our favor. That's why we were able to get it boxed in as much as we were able to.
What concerned you about today's weather?
Low relative humidity, wind, and Connecticut has been dry. We went from August, we were in record wet up until August. Hasn't rained since the flash flooding in August. And we were in, the fire danger in Connecticut is extreme, is my understanding today. I know what it is here, it's extreme. And with the red flag warnings, that gives me great pause. We have had other fires around Connecticut. I believe we had a total of 7 incidents I was staffing yesterday. They're all going to be a challenge today for us.
So while you wait for the aerial support, is the plan for the rest of today into the afternoon to continue that hand digging?
Yeah, so while the digging is done, now it's holding the line and making sure the fire stays within the box.
Are ATVs still being used
Yes,
for trash?
yes, but we've adjusted the tactics we are using with them.
And then do you think the trails, the narrow of the trails, have anything to do with it, or?
I have no perspective on that. I have not even seen the area where that has happened.
Yeah, so that incident occurred, and so this is impacting two municipalities here in Berlin as well as Meriden. So technically, that incident occurred in Meriden. So I would encourage, if you have any questions related to that investigation, to direct them to Meriden Police, as they are conducting the investigation. So.
Is there any indication at this point as to what could have caused this fire? What sparked it?
The cause and origin investigation is just started. That will be conducted by the Berlin Fire Marshal's Office in coordination with the Connecticut State Police.
The water, will it be coming from Silver Lake?
We are working the details out of that. It is my understanding that Silver Lake is a deep controlled water body, and we are working on the approvals and permitting process on that. That is our tentative plan. We are working on backup plans now.
Outside of the scope of the investigation of yesterday's tragedy, can you just explain a little bit about the morale right now? I know that you have a lot on your plate, a lot of moving parts, but are crews okay right now? I mean, I imagine it's very
The
emotional.
majority of the crews that were working yesterday are not on the fire today. And with any tragedy like this, yeah, it hurts.
I'll add to that. So obviously the firefighter involved was a area local firefighter, one of our mutual aid responders. We've released them for the day to give them time to breathe and ground themselves. We have stress debriefing teams available to them and resources, if need be, that they can reach out to throughout our town fire and municipal agencies.
The three other firefighters that were hurt, do you heard if they've been released from the hospital or what's going on with them?
I can't say for sure if they've been released. They were minor injuries. From what I've heard, it's scrapes, bumps, bruises. But as far as being released, we haven't heard if they're out yet.
That being said, can you just talk about the risks that these firefighters who are seeing are facing every single day with a fire this magnitude? I mean, it's clear they're putting their life on the line.
So yeah, it's a large area and we have lots of resources. So resource management is a huge part of our safety aspect. We need to know where our crews are, what they're doing at all points in time. The terrain is very difficult, so we can't keep an eye on everybody at every point in time. I know where they were is some of the worst terrain in the area, so we're just watching that and trying to mitigate where those machines are now going as best as possible.
I know you touched on this a little last night, but just how does something like this happening affect the rest of your department and the surrounding departments?
The firefighter community is it's strong. The mentality, it's hard to keep a lot of the guys away after something like this. They want to finish the job. That's what they're there for, and they want to do it to honor those that we've lost. But it is important for us to recognize that when there's a separation needed, we handle that appropriately.
Any updated estimate at this point as to how long it'll continue to take?
I think we're still at 3-4 days, Mike.
Yeah, it's going to be some time. With as dry as it is and no rain in the forecast, the reality is this and any other fires that are occurring or that will occur, it's when it starts raining, and not just a quarter inch. We're talking I need a couple inches of rain. We will probably have a presence from deep on a fire like this at least a month at what I'm looking at right now. We're in western United States territory dry right now. And this is our typical fall fire season is also we have a confluence of a lot of not good favors working in my world, and it's going to be a long haul. It's my understanding there's no rain in the 10-day forecast, and the long-range forecast also shows no rain. This is the beginning days of probably a long fall fire season in the state of Connecticut.
As far as the water drop goes,
If the winds come as forecasted this afternoon by the National Weather Service, I don't think I'll be flying the helicopter that much. They do have safety parameters, and when we inject aviation, that is another whole big risk that a lot of the firefighters here in the eastern United States are not used to. And we will have to address that at the time when they get here with the pilot and their safety staff. But it will affect it, but if they can fly, they can drop water for me.
Can you say when the last time that there was an incident of this magnitude here in the state of Connecticut?
As far as size fire, it was about 4 years ago in Middletown, I believe, was our last, we'll call it 100-plus acre fire. The last fire with a line of duty death tragedy and aviation would have been fall of '84 at Ragged Mountain on the other side of Berlin.
Do you have any tips for people like living in the area about how to stay safe or
Really today is any spark is going to cause a fire. It is dry, it is windy, the fuels are receptive. Statewide, regardless of what industry, if you're working in construction, if you're doing something that makes sparks, don't do it today. No fire pits. I would even avoid using a gas grill today outside. We're in a condition where anything any spark is going to start a fire, and all fires start small.
I can add to that real quick too. It's really important if residents anywhere in the state of Connecticut aren't signed up to get emergency alerts through CT Alert or your local municipal alerting authority, please sign up for those now. We do have ways to communicate, as we demonstrated yesterday with wireless emergency alerts, where we can push a broadcast out that we used yesterday for the 911 situation being down. But I just really highly encourage everyone to stay informed, trusted sources, local media. Just keep an eye on it. If we need to get a message out, we're going to push it far and wide, but signing up now for those alerts will be really beneficial. So.
If I could, I'd just like to speak on community support and involvement during this incident. We've received outstanding support from our local and extended community. Donations of food, water, snacks for the guys to bring out with them have been coming in. But as you can see, I'd like to just say with the size of our scene here and our incident command structure, we'd like to direct those resources the right way. We have Farmington CERT's canteen trailer on site. They're providing the guys 3 hot meals a day. We'd like them to coordinate those donations to our incident management team, and any donations monetarily wise people would like to give to assist with that, they can go to the farmingtoncommunitypantry.com/CERT, and they can donate directly to that resource. That canteen is invaluable to the central Connecticut region. It's one of a kind, providing the hot meals, and it's a savior for our first responders.
All right, we appreciate you all coming out. We'll let you know when our next press conference is going to be. I planned the grass cutting perfectly, I think, so I think it's time to wrap this up, but we'll be around if you have any more questions. I have Alexis Steele here as acting one of our public information officers if you have any questions, but we'll let you know unless you have something scheduled when the next time is, or you want to do that now?
Yeah, let's do something before your nightly news. Let's try for 4 o'clock, around like yesterday.
Right. Yeah, so we'll plan for 4 o'clock as the next press briefing. Thank you all for coming. Bill Turner? Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.